Good evening. Good evening and Merry Christmas and a prosperous 2024. It's definitely compliments of the season to everyone who is watching Ubuntu channel. My name is Chaza, right here on the program called My Point of View. And tonight we do have a couple of interesting stories, and we'll be actually reacting to those stories. And I do invite you, if you'd like to react to any of the stories that we do have tonight, you are so very welcome to do so by actually, joining us on set by clicking on the link that we are yet to share in the comment section. Or better still, you can actually get to leave your comment, and we'll be delighted to know your reaction, and even just to know that you are following the program right here on our Ubuntu channel. As usual, I'm joined by Mr. Mukelewai right here to actually get to react to the stories that we do have tonight. Mr. Mukelewai, good evening and welcome to the program. Mr. Mukelewai, are you there?
Hi, Chaza, I'm here. Sorry, I had run away. Can you hear me?
Yes, indeed, we can hear you. Good evening and welcome to the program.
Ziko kwambiri kumazulo mwachoma bwanji asogoleri aku Zambia mazambians muli bwanji hope mulichemushe hope muiketile sitabasa Jesus sitabasa bolozi kilomiterani program ya Point of View na sepa mkalufanako achimvera manje chitundu chamene nambo kamba.
Chimvera,
can you speak loudly?
I can speak just a few words like greeting and so on and so forth.
And yet you want to claim to be Zambian. One Zambia, one nation.
Yes, I claim your weakness may be my strength, and your strength may be my weakness. I know you are a linguistician.
When you pass a profession, I mean, it's easy. I'm not a linguistician. I'm just a Zambian. I'm just a Zambian who decided to learn other Zambian tribe. I have interest to learn.
Yes, it's so actually interest coupled up with ability. One may be interested, but that capability may not be there. Some languages really take a lot of diction, unique diction, and it's quite difficult. But for some, have got an inborn talent like yourself. It's very easy for you to
stop justifying your interest. The interest, Jambe. Ngatwalina interest kupunzira chitundu. Right now, I speak almost. I can speak all the Scandinavians' language. The interest, So
if it was interest, everyone that has been to school would have finished and also passed with distinctions, because everyone at school is interested, but not everyone passes.
No, at school, you were obligated.
Mr. Mukelewai, we leave this story for another day. Let's get straight into the program. Remember, this is my point of view, and you are entitled to your opinion to be attached to the stories that we do have right here. Let's take a look at the first story, and we see you on the other side.
Lusaka Stone Market shop owners have cried foul over an alleged move by the Lusaka City Council to hike levy charges from 220 kwacha to 800 kwacha per month, commencing in 2024. The aggrieved traders laments that the hike is unreasonable as many failed to pay the current 2020 kwacha levy due to poor business in the facility. The traders have accused Area Councillor Njomona Chimuka of initiating the hike in an attempted move to grab the shops from the owners, claiming they belong to the council, and the owners have abrogated the terms by renting them out.
What was at January, tika 800 sitingayikwanisa 800 chabwera bwanji ati tinangena ife mu field umu kufufuza kwapezeka kuti imwe mubera kanso mutenga ndalama yambiri vakanso mubapasa ndalama ing'ono so chawama baja bantu bamene bali mu mashopu bamene baja bakwanisa kulipira imwe ma 800 so bakwanisa kulipira kanso 800 chifukwa aya mashops aya amene yali mukati muno ni ya kanso.
Ife mashops kuno wanaikira from 220 to 800 kwacha. So 800, 220 mativuta kulipira. Mae 800 kwacha nyameti za kwani 800. Ine ndine hairdresser. Nina wana 6. Pakuti nipange ndrama chabi yolipira ya meneyo, yolipira shop 220. Na wana wanga school, na wana wabidi boarding school.
One of the long-serving members of the market, Damian Mulipa, says the shops are not owned by the council, as they were only habilitated by the European Union in 2006 and handed back to the owners.
When the market finished, the structures were handed back to the previous occupiers, the previous owners. But the compensation issue was brought down because the compensation was in lieu of the new shops which were built. When this happened, the Ministry of Local Government never came to address the remaining issues. And this is what has brought all these problems, because the owners of the shops brought down were not compensated.
When contacted for a comment, LCC promised to give its position on the matter in due course. Equally, efforts to get a comment from accused Chakunkula Ward Area Councillor Chimuka Njomona proved futile as his phone went unanswered.
There we have it. It sounds so outrageous to have, such an increment unless there's, some other reason that we may not know. Like, the victims have complained that probably it's a way of, chasing us away so that, they can give the shops to other people. We don't know. That is a speculation, and it requires that the council gets, to tell us what the issue is exactly, but we are entitled to our own opinions. Mr. Mkelawai, I do invite you to react to this story.
Well, thank you so much, Chaza. I think it will be, we are going to do a disservice to this case if we don't have an opinion from the municipality themselves, because I haven't heard anything from the local authorities on the reasons to why they decided to hike the rentals. So is it the rentals or it's the levy? I have no clue what it is. Is it the levy?
It's the levy. Yes, indeed, levy.
Yeah. So levy, it's the form of it's tax paid by the local authorities, by people to the local authorities, and those are bylaws. And if the local authorities, the councils, and they sat in their chambers and deliberated on this matter, and unanimously they decided to hike the levy, then the people have no choice but to start paying. And if they can't, they should take it up to the authorities, to the relevant authorities, and appeal, and put up their and forward their case, their arguments, to the reasons to why they are unable to. But if, as alleged, it is discovered that these people, instead of utilizing the shops themselves, built by the local authorities and given to people, they decide to separate the same shops, and they are making money on top of the local authority. Instead of the money going to the local authorities, going in the pocket of the so-called registered, the owners of the shop. Then I think it is just the right thing to do. Things are no longer cheaper. Everywhere you go, things are expensive. You don't expect the prices that you used to pay in early 1999 or 1960 or whatever to be the same price that we are going to be paying today in 2022 or 23 and 24. We have evolved. We have moved. We are moving with time. Things that we used to buy cheaper are no longer cheaper because of where we have come from, and the production and everything that you are looking into are so expensive. Probably the service of maintaining the market, it is proving to be very high, expensive, because the people that are employed are supposed to be paid as well good salaries, not where they are supposed to be paid the same amount that they used to get 10 years ago. We need to evolve. We need to move on with time. Yes, the world has moved. Things are expensive. The service delivery is getting expensive. So it is just a normal thing or the right thing to do to pay a little bit more to get good services as well, good service delivery. Otherwise, if the people have a plight, I heard one of the person affected was claiming that she has 6 children, she has to take them to school. I was even laughing at when she said that word. But taking those children to school when you are paying nothing, the government has introduced free education. So what excuse do you have over that issue that you are trying to say? No, school. It's like it has become a song that every time there's an increment, we have to point at our children and use school as an excuse. But this time around, the school cannot be an excuse because the government has come in and chipped in to help us, the citizens, over school fees. So unless you have other issues that you may want to raise, otherwise you could have a good claim. They have a good claim, a good case to dispute the price that is too high, and then let them take it back to the authority, and then the local authorities will deliberate on it and come up with a reasonable amount. I think it is important also for the local authority to engage the people instead of them just deliberate in their chambers and then come up with a bylaw that is going to choke many citizens. So this, if it's not going to work, so the question is, what are they going to do? So they have to find a reasonable fee where people are also agreeable, in agreement or satisfied, at least something reasonable where both parties can part away with something. 800 from 200, that's more than 300% increment. So that's not okay. It's not even half of it. So at least had they just added maybe a 50% increment, probably we would have understood, or 30%, but not more than 100%. You know, from 250 to 800, 250 plus 250, see 500. So why did they jump all the way to 800 when it's so unreasonable and very unfair? I think those people have a claim, have a good case. So the question is, where can they appeal? Who can they appeal to? The government, or within the local authorities, to the people that are superintending over the welfare of the local authorities? Who are they? Is it the government, the local government, Minister of Local Government? So if they want, let them take up the matter and then see how it will come up with, how they will resolve the matter. If they say they maintain 800, then so be it. But if they decide to listen, because this is the government, I believe, that listens. So definitely they are going to listen. That's my position. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Mkelebai, thank you so much. And I think you have tackled all aspects. You have, faced the local authority and also the people. And I like your conclusion that, yes, indeed, the increment is so outrageous, which is far more than 100%. And indeed, the people are lamenting there. So we are looking forward to hearing from, the local authority to hear the demerits and merits of their decision, and indeed to compromise and see to reach that people continue trading, so that both the people are empowered and also there's something that is there to be paid to the local authority. This is Ubuntu Channel, and you are watching or following My Point of View. Let's go to the next story and back on the other side.
They can never even look at you and have said, if there will be any plots in any council, I will favor first UPND people and the poor person. That I'm going to do it. For 10 years, you must also have a share, but we shall look after the poor people, the poorest of people, the women, the PF are thieves. PF have been thieves. Within 10 years, see how much they have been rich. I've been here in fact since 1973. There were no such houses. I've been in Parliament, I'm almost going to 20 years. I haven't reached the stage these PF people have become. Even if they're saying we want to come back, they want to come and finish you.
That is our minister, the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Mr. Elijah, or rather, Dr. Elijah Nchima. Let me invite you, Mr. Mkelebai. Give us, your thoughts as regards, this story. The minister is saying, as regards the giving out of land, you prioritize UPND and poor people. Your reaction to that?
I think they have been. He's been somehow. It was a little bit emotional, especially considering the fact that where we are coming from, looking at the history, PF is on record where they were busy on the media, social media, even in government, where they prioritize their members first. And they're saying we are going to employ their members in strategic positions, and meaning they were sidelining the other people that were in the opposition. So meaning people who were not in PF never benefited anything for as long as the PF was in power for the past 10 years. So those benefited. They were busy given properties, plots, allocated plots, and given businesses, contracts. So it is just a normal thing to say, to fill up the gap, try to look at the people that were left out. That never even benefited anything, because every Zambian was entitled to have a piece of land. So who do you prioritize in the first place when you come into power, when you saw the injustices that took place and the reason why people decided to vote out the unfair government, the government that was dictatorial, the government that was corrupt, the government that was violent, the government that caused a lot of confusion, bringing division in the country, where you see tribalism was getting out of hand. So it is just a normal thing to do. It's the right thing to do, to say, look, you who were left out, here is the piece of land that we would want you to also have so you can share, because it will be unfair to start bringing to level the ground where everyone now, including those that are already acquired pieces of land, to start from the same level as those who were neglected to acquire, to have a piece of land for the past 10 years. It will be unfair. So I think it's just common sense that you have to start feeding the people that you fought with, the people that you knew were unfairly treated, while observing the fact that it is not just the UPND that were unfairly treated alone. There were other members of the public that did not acquire pieces of land because they did not belong to any. They were never affiliated to any political party. However, they also suffered the injustices. They never got involved themselves into politics, but for that act itself, they suffered. So the UPND has a mandate right now to look at also those people that actually, if at all they will be able to keep records of those that were that never benefited from the land. Is it restitution policy? I don't know. It's a political favors, So it is best that those are compensated or given first priorities to acquire pieces of land if they can afford, because the land itself, it cannot just be given for free like customary land. You have to pay a fee to have a title. You have to pay all those statutory requirement fees. So if you can't, then the offer will be given to another person. Unfortunately, the government that is in power today needs to look at the price, if it's affordable, and give opportunity to the people that really are victims of the discrimination to be first, to be prioritized or given offers to occupy land, and then get to the rest of the country. Zambia is for everyone. Everyone is entitled to a piece of land. But the tone of the minister, I know it is coming from a painful source or a painful background. Otherwise, it's not supposed to be like that. He ought to have lowered the tone, because that will simply worsen or divide the nation. But we don't want the PF people to start complaining again, because there are some PF members who never even benefited from the selfishness of their leaders. So what about those? Should they also suffer just because a few individuals, those who were rubbing shoulders with Bene Edgar Lungu, are the ones that benefited, and those that did not, that were a little bit far away from Bene Edgar Lungu, have not even gotten any benefit. So they are going to suffer double jeopardy or double punishment. So it is imperative that the minister, when you are a minister of a ministry, that ministry, it should not be covered with a political regalia or party. It is a ministry for the whole country. All political parties, all Zambians are supposed to identify themselves within that ministry. So it will be unfair and unjust to just name a group of people that are going to benefit, leaving the rest. Then we are not solving a problem, and we are not we are still going back to the same old ways. What happens when that minister or the government decides to move out, or when they are kicked out? What will happen to the next? If this is a trend or a precedent that we want to leave behind. So you'll find this problem is not going to end. It will continue until further notice. So it is somehow the comment of the minister. It is well understood where it is coming from. He is speaking with emotion, but as a minister, he should, I know, support his political party, but he should be neutral when it comes to allocating of pieces of land. Let him do it either the way he's supposed to do it, because he is in office. So he can favor those or give first priority to those that were neglected. And how he does it, it should not be of our concern. He should not even be announcing, in my opinion. He should do it administratively. That's my position.
Thank you, Mr. Mkeleba. I can see you are belaboring, to actually make it as neutral as possible. And I like it that you started from agreeing with him, and at last you've actually disagreed and say, he's been temperamental. He has used emotions, and he's the minister for all the people. And just, taking a leaf from the president. The president indicates that, he's a president of all Zambians. And even these people that are in offices like the office of the minister, they must also emulate the president's stance and, accept that they are in office for all Zambians. Okay, we do have, some messages right here. Emmanuel Nkunika is saying exactly, the minister must be neutral. Emmanuel, thank you so much. We do appreciate, and it's good to know you are right there watching, through Facebook. And Namwinga Precious Simwanza is actually saying watching, and she's watching via Facebook. We greatly appreciate, and it is definitely our pleasure to know that you are right there following. And indeed, we look forward to seeing, neutrality in office bearers like ministers, as it were, because what could be the basis of even ascertaining that this person is poor, if we segment it, for the poor and UPND, what could be the basis? It could be even difficult to actually, dispense, authority or land, as it were, in such a manner. But if there's neutrality, and whosoever that has got consideration, they are offered, they, buy that piece of land with all due fairness. That will be a great Zambia that we are looking forward to having. And we don't want to get back to the, circumstances in which we were, before. This is Ubuntu Channel. It is definitely a Merry Christmas once again to those of you that have just joined us. This is my point of view. Let's take a look at the next story, and we are coming back on the other side.
13 days to 2024, opposition political party leaders have described the year 2023 as a challenging year for the opposition political players in the country. They say 2023 has been a year of trials and tribulations both in the political and economic spheres. Economic Freedom Fighters EFF leader Kasonde Mwenda says 2023 has been a testament that the UPND government is not open to advice.
2023 for us has been a year of so many trials, temptations and tribulations. It has also unmasked what kind of people we have in power. They are actually more ruthless, more hard-hearted than we thought. They have seen the fortunes of this country crumble. The only people that are enjoying are foreigners, but there has been no way to show that they really care about Zambians. Political parties are being crumbled on. Right now, we don't even know who owns PF, because we have seen the UPND using government machinery, even sponsor divisions, even sponsor confusions. They are sponsoring confusion not only there. For those who are standing on truth like we are doing, they are now physically man-hunting us, beating us up.
National Democratic Congress NDC leader Savoy Mboera has described this year as a difficult year for both an ordinary Zambian, more so politicians.
2023 has not really been a good year, especially for the opposition. I think we have seen that there was an increase in the arrest of the opposition political party leaders. Almost all the opposition political party leaders are in court right now. So that has not really been good. It has increased, contributed to the increased democratic space shrinking, So that has been very bad. And also, if you look at the human rights record of the UPND, I think that human rights are being violated. Apart from the opposition political party leaders, just the media have been victims. If you look at the economy also, things have been very, very bad. We have seen the dollar now is trading at 25 kwacha. We have seen the standard ratio increasing within a short period of time.
Meanwhile, New Heritage Party leader Chishala Kateka has spoken to the highly debated shrinking democratic space in the country.
2023 has been rather a challenging year for politicians and for ordinary Zambians. For politicians, firstly, because we've seen the shrinking space, democratic space, where a lot of politicians have been either destabilized or put in cells, not allowed to hold rallies, something that is very, very concerning. And we've seen the Mingalato of the UPND, which we are, as New Heritage Party, we are calling upon even ordinary Zambians to worry about and to do something about.
And Citizens First President Harry Kalaba says the UPND government should do better in the coming year, especially concerning pieces of legislation like the Public Order Act to guarantee space for the opposition in the country.
We are praying that come 2024, this government is going to annihilate the Public Order Act or the Public Gathering Act, whatever they want to call it. 2024 must be a year when this UPND government should stop talking the talk, but walking the talk.
2023 has been a politically charged year, with cries over the shrinking democratic space in the country being a motion of debate, which politicians and civil society organizations, among others, accuse the government of restricting the opposition from engaging their supporters. Vincent Piri for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
Right on. Opposition, political party leaders lamenting that, 2023 has been, heinous on their side. Mr. Mkelebai, your reaction to that, story.
Thank you so much, Shaza. The opposition have the right to complain, yes. And it hasn't been easy for them, in a sense that their approach to the so-called checks and balances has been total way out of order. In short, they are the people that have been creating actually all these arrests that you see that were made towards the political leaders, the opposition political leaders, were perpetrated by themselves. They thought by breaking the law, they are going to get away with everything. And if they are arrested, then they should invoke this card, this persecution card, so that they could also win a marriage, or they could have win sympathy from the public. They are trying to use what Hakainde went through with Hakainde Hichilema when he was in opposition. Unfortunately, Hakainde was never breaking the laws. He never broke the law. If he did, the procedures were not followed properly. If he did break the law, the charges that he was slapped on was very different or frivolous. they thought if they could use the same narrative, if they could use the same way Hakainde was persecuted, they could also win, because Zambian people are easily convinced. You can win Zambian people when you start throwing yourself in police custody, myself. Because that is the narrative this opposition, they are trying to hold on to, and so they could continue with that narrative. Unfortunately, they are exposed, or they're exposing themselves, or they're exposing their ignorance. We know, how can a reasonable opposition leader stand on the podium inciting insurrection or inciting violence? There's a law which is already there. How can a political leader go out there and start showering messages of division of a nation? Others, they're even wishing the government to be toppled by way of coup d'etat. What do you expect the government to do? To sit back and relax, hoping that, or being scared that if they do go ahead and apprehend that person, Zambian people will rise against them and start crying for political persecution or the shrinking space of democracy? What are these guys talking about? Because from my point of view, I don't see any shrinking in a democratic space. Because these people, when they are busy going around the country spreading these rumors or these messages or this hate speech or this, they're doing it willingly on social media or everywhere. They are on radio everywhere. And if this government was so restrictive, like they were in like the restriction that we came from 10 years ago, I mean, not 10 years ago, 2 years ago, I think that is when they were going to talk about the shrinking of democracy. There's no shrinking of democracy. The problem is the political leaders want to be treated with baby gloves when they are committing criminal offenses. Unfortunately, the Zambian law does not work like that. And this is the government that has chosen to rule with the rule of law, using the rule of law. How are they going to do it if these politicians are not following the law? The ones that should even uphold the law, but they're the ones breaking the law. Listen to their tone. Listen to the way they talk about the incumbent or about the government today. They are not there to build. They are not there we know we cannot ask them to praise the government. We don't want them to praise the government of the day. Whatever positive things they have done, they should keep this government on its toe, but not by breaking the law themselves. Because these are the people, these opposition leaders, they are simply handing reasons to the ruling government to arrest them. They are handing over, they're taking themselves. Why should you do that? So that, what is your motive behind? We know their intention is not good. Their intention is to lure the Zambian people, think that this government is doing exactly what PF did. Unfortunately, it's not the case. Ababena Savoy Imboela and Shoni Tembo and Freddie Membe, Kalava, they are breaking the laws. They are not following the law and order. The public order is being disregarded. And then they want to come to you and me and cry that they are being persecuted when they are just busy handing. Why are you handing the UPNG government reasons to apprehend you, to arrest you? But now, listen Listen to what these chaps are talking about. Listen to what they talk about. Listen to them, follow them properly. They are creating a narrative where they want to sabotage or bringing confusion so that UPND government finds it difficult to pierce in people's heart, or they don't want to hear anyone praising the government. Code names, you are a praise singer, what and what. If you talk about anything positive, including themselves, the CDF, they are benefiting, sending children to school, they can't do it. They are failing to do so because they are on the motive. Their motive is to decampaign and to bring down this government because they were challenged. Their lies were exposed. And now, because this current government is walking the talk, what is happening? They are forgetting. We have forgotten to talk about even the misappropriation of the Zambian money, the debt that these guys left. Look at the way things are today. Who is talking about the reason why we have a high cost of living, why the meal prices are high, why fuel prices high, why the economy is doing not good? Nobody's talking about it. The only thing we hear pointing a finger at, no, because it's HH who is in government, he is the reason why today we have this, because he has failed. Mulela bamwebekala chalo tamwalwala Alzheimer. You Zambians, you are very good at memory. You have good memories. You know where we are coming from. You know where we are coming from. 10 years of destruction. The economy has never flew up in the sky, but the economy has been diving, nosedive. Nobody wants to talk about. Instead, you are busy sympathizing with the criminals. People that put us in this same condition today are the ones that you are siding with, even singing the praising song Alewelela or something like that. The people that caused destruction are the ones that we want to side with, are the ones that we are. But why? Why? They are winning because they have given, their propaganda has gotten into your heads, thinking UPND government has destroyed this economy. Woofy, it has not. If anything, UPND government has managed to keep this economy floating, not going down, not going up, but at least somewhere where we are not broke yet. Because this government, to be honest with you, Zambian economy would have been, this government would have been closed or bankrupt, declared bankrupt. But because of these new guys in government, they have kept this country on, and they are working so hard. Of course, development does not come within a year or two. It takes time. Their dividends, their hard work they are going through with right now, they're doing right now, will only be felt. Their fruits will come in few years to come. But for now, we are reaping what we saw with the Lungu government. For Lungu to come and say, no, there's shrinking of democratic space, it is an insult to you, the Zambian. Vale mituka va Lungu. Over UPF vale mituka. Imwena mwikala, you are even praising. Now, you are not, you can easily be lied to. So do not fall for such lies. Our opposition, we love them. We want them to put this government on its toes. But they need not to give reasons to be arrested. Kumwenda, you have been breaking the law. You are charged. Dispute those charges if they are not true. Go to court. You be acquitted. Then we will simply say, hey, Chachine, that was a frivolous charge. But look at the charges that you are being slapped with. The charges are consistent with what you have done or what you have said? So what is that? Kambwili today is facing prison sentence. He's a convicted for hate speech. How can you dispute that? Is Kambwili not one of the opposition leaders? He is. How can you dispute that? Even if he has appealed, he has been convicted for what? Hate speech. He gave a reason for this government or for the police to go and arrest him and charge him and prosecute him. So you, the opposition, are giving reasons instead of fighting this government to push them to put up some challenging checks and balances issues, but you go and want to break the law so that ngabami kata muise mwambo kulila ati yo ni persecution, the democratic space is not okay. That's not true. And Tuakana, we are not stupid. We know as Zambians, we can see, we can read between the lines. We know who means well and we know who doesn't mean well. The previous government never meant well for the Zambian people. This government means well, including the very people that persecuted them. They are being treated with baby gloves. We haven't seen anything bigger being done by this government apart from leaving everything to the rule of law, to the law to take its course. So if you want to challenge this current government, challenge it using the law. Challenge the law. And you can only challenge the law not through Facebook or what? Social media. Challenge your cases in court. Go to court and challenge a dispute. Simple. So in narrative there's the shrinking democratic space. Let's talk about the economy. The economy of Zambia is not doing well. The rate at which we are going at, things are not okay. Let us find out, why is it so? What has the government done to mitigate this challenge? Are we going to be in this category for a long time, or this is just temporarily? These are issues that we need to bring out. Any suggestion from you by opposition, bring it out. Let's hear. But instead, all we hear are insult, disrespectful. It's a pity that even the president decided to remove that law of defaming the president. Otherwise, you guys, all of you, we could have ended up in prison because you are so disrespectful. He may have his weaknesses, yes. He's not an angel. He is not doing everything correct. But how do you keep him on his toes? Insult does not put him on his toes. He has shown you that you can insult. It will never take you anywhere. If anything, it is you who is exposing yourselves. So in our opposition, be introspect and be reasonable. If you want this country to thrive, can you please challenge these guys? Let's talk about vendetta. How did you bring vendetta? Why? What are the reasons? Do you agree with those reasons? What was your option? Let's talk about investors. Why are investors taking long to bring development? Look at the kwacha. It is going up. What is causing all this? These are issues that we can talk about, debate about as a nation. Not to kwambo kulanda pa pensele mletuko muntu uaikalila disrespecting him. And you call yourself opposition. Angabakwikata persecution. Kutumpo. Sorry. Otherwise, that's the way I can just conclude.
Thank you so much. We do appreciate, and it's been a mouthful, of the reaction, and deliberately so. I actually said to myself, let me leave him to pour out his heart, and so you have done. Remember, this is my point of view, and the views that we do express right on this program do not belong to Ubuntu channel, but they do belong to the individual that, brings them out. Let's go to the next story, and, we come back with, reactions or opinions as regarding this story.
politicians sometimes are useless. We are useless sometimes because we think with our egos, not our brains. The things which is happening in our country today, you can even see that they are not using their brains, they are using their egos. You can even see that. So bakapokola ubupuba bwesu from a politician imwe muchulilemu. Why?
Saturday, 16th October 2023, former Lusaka Province Minister Bowman Lusambo held his last press conference for the year 2023, where he tackled a number of issues ranging from politics to economy. The former Kabushi constituency lawmaker defended former President Edgar Lungu's bid to have his retirement package reinstated. Mr. Lungu has filed a petition before the Lusaka High Court to reinstate his benefits as former head of state that was taken away last month following his public announcement that he has reverted to active politics. The matter has attracted divergent views among members of the general public, but Mr. Lusambo says Mr. Lungu worked for the money.
President Edgar Chagwa Lungu is just claiming what belongs to him. Give Caesar what belongs to Caesar. That's all. Okay? That's all. So, na tuishiba ishimirandu shiri mukoti barepo ayo kulolekesha hapo twalanda pofe pantu ama Zambians na tiramona pa social media yo president na titanani na di broko ima president Edgar Chagwa Lungu kuti aba broko ine shiri broko how president Lungu abe broko ine shiri broko na kwa taredi yomwina redi aloba president Lungu.
Meanwhile, Mr. Lusambo has implored the United Party for National Development UPND administration to look beyond the International Monetary Fund program by finding local solutions to economic challenges the country is confronted with.
No, by for Zambia, no muntu kukwata $50,000 mulandu mwebantu. No, ba nishini country ya shani. Nishtwala ikala shani. Inso yeskula yafye ubwali na kapenta. Enchito yesu. Ifyota fya bombe yo. Tatwa sumine ukutwale chalo chesu chibe a begging country. We want our people to invest in our economy. We want our fellow Zambians to have money. Ama Zambians ngabakwa tempia nish government ya kwa tempia.
However, it is worth noting that Republican President Hakainde Hichilema has been wondering what the PF would do, which they failed to do in 10 years.
People forget how they brutalize citizens. And when they say, Ale Werapo, I said, what? To come and do what? To continue the lynching.
But the political bulldozer claims that the greatest opposition of the current administration are the people who are feeling the negative impact of the high cost of living.
And I've challenged the police, give me one rally. Saira, Lusaka, Central, Copperbelt, Inefyeneka, not at Shan, Inefyeneka. And I will show you that UPND is nowhere to be seen because the people of Zambia, they have already decided.
Patrick Soko, Camnet News.
There we have it, a politician there giving us his sentiments as regards what is going on in the country. And he's politicking Mr. Bowman Lusambo, the former, minister of Lusaka province. There we have it. Let's have, your reaction, Mr. Mukelebai.
Thank you so much. As I said earlier, the PF, I don't know where they get their courage and energy. They are the ones that stood when they were in government, when they were campaigning. They told you and me. They told you and me that they did their work, their underground work, and they were set to win in 2021 general election. They were busy on the podium telling the Zambian people exactly the same word he is using. It has not been long ago, Mumwebantu. It's only 2 years ago, 2 years down the line. And for someone, if you were forgotten, I think you still have AMA audios, NAMA videos, play them round, play them. Listen to their message. Listen to their propaganda. Listen to their lies. The same lies that they did, they are using the same today, thinking that we Zambians have forgotten. Now, for a Zambian, even if le lotuch the praise, now monobungana budula, yes, but we have not forgotten where we have come from, where the country, and why ubungana budula lelo. We cannot forget that part. So I don't understand really where these guys are getting this energy. And they still want to use the same narrative, even when it never worked for them. Look at them. Look at their political party. There's nothing like, no, there's interference. Woofy. It's all lies and propaganda. They are doing this to themselves. Self-infliction injuries. They have done this to themselves several times. These guys, they don't know how to play politics. They thought they were going to do it on their own. They tried to manipulate people in 2015, 2016. Unfortunately, all that pressure, all that love for Michael Chilufya Sata died with many people, many PF members. It died immediately because they could see, they could read through. They know how greedy these politicians and how boastive Abena Lusambo, how boastive they are when they are in authority, especially Nono. Listen to his tone. Still talking about how can Wolungu be broke when I am not yet broke. Listen to that. What does that entail? What character of a person do you think he is? So these are the people that you want to praise today and follow. I am so surprised that us Zambians, we don't want to learn a lesson, more especially when I see women, especially you women, dancing in front of these people that abused you, abused your own children. They are abusers. They don't have a stake. They don't have the zeal to run this country anymore. No. The moment we make that mistake and bring back the same faces that destroyed this nation, that put us in this mess, then we are doomed as a nation. We are doomed, and I'm glad there is that dual citizenship or whatever. I would advise many Zambians to simply stick to that. Can you find other countries where you can, so that you, when something is bad, just go to the next country like Malawi or Aikala. Because bring the PF that has rebranded with new faces. That way, maybe we'll understand. This issue of Wolungu claiming benefits. You think this government is they're doing things from their head like they used to do in PF? Because PF, we know that they do everything by their own head. Where the wind blows, that's where they all go. They don't follow what is written there. When they try to follow what is written, they find it does not make sense. Look at Wolungu when he was in power. Who advised ministers to stay longer in the office when the law says otherwise? It's him. So what benefit is he going to talk about when the law is explicitly expresses and stipulates that when you are back into active politics, you will lose your benefits. You will lose your benefits. It is in black and white. Where is he getting the authority and the advice to go back and start claiming his terminal benefits when he himself stood on the podium, announced to the people, I am back. From where? From retirement, isn't it? He retired and he sent a letter, and the cabinet is in receipt of that letter. Today, the same president announces to say, I'm coming back into politics, and the cabinet decide to hold on, stop, to follow the law. And then he wants to challenge the government to say, no, I want you to pay me my benefits. Who does that? Where is he getting this advice from? Walungu, my advice to you, my brother, Your Excellency, former President of the Republic of Zambia, I would have urged you, if you wanted to come into politics, you ought to have used your daughter, Tasila Lungu. Your name is already there. Your blood is already there. You are still in active politics through your daughter. This is what I always talk about as African parents. We are too selfish. We don't realize the potential that our children have. We don't know how potential our children can even change our names and protect our legacy. If Zambian people really loved you, Mr. Lungu, for the two services that you offered, for the two presidential or whatever services that you offer, 2 terms of services, Mr. Lungu, your daughter today, you were going to rally behind your daughter. She's already in politics. She's already a member of parliament. Look at her age. Look how composed she is. That is where you ought to have taken over from. Go rally behind your daughter, not you. With your health, you're supposed to retire, take care of Tasila Lungu's children at the farm. But advise, support your daughter. If you're a good president, as African people, we love our presidents that if their own children, if your president, if Mwanawasa, for example, his children, Mwanawasa's children were to come into politics, I promise you, after Hakainde, we could have voted for Mwanawasa's child, because we know that an apple does not far away from its own tree. So Walungu, if you really wanted to retire and come back into politics, you ought to have come through your daughter. Support your daughter. Stand behind your daughter. That is me. Your legacy, I'm telling you, my brother, would have stood the test of time. Unfortunately, you just came back to tarnish your image and even kill the chances and dreams of your daughter to become a president of this nation one day. Tasila Lungu was heading that way. She's heading that way. But you are taking away that responsibility by coming back into politics. You are taking away a chance. So Walungu, think. Please stop listening to these chaps who want to take advantage of your kindness, of your weakness, because I call that kindness of yours as a weakness, because they store over your head, used your name. Why do you think they want you back? They are protecting their investment because they know that through you, it's easy to steal, it's easy to circumvent the law, it's easy to beat people with you doing nothing. So Walungu, please think. Your health is not okay. I don't know if you're 100% okay, but I know for the fact that Mwarefe Ntakale, so I don't think you're 100% okay. Your age, look at your age. Today you want to go back to Africa, to leadership. Nish Twakwata from Africans. The retirement age, you know for sure, you know it's there, 60 something, and you are almost there. You are almost going up beyond. Should you go back into politics another 5 years, 10, when are you going to retire? We see presidents, public, they win because of their health. Is that what you want? Walungu, stay home. Esther needs you. She needs you. Your children, grandchildren needs you at the farm. To respect your legacy, we need you. We'll come back to you for advice. But what you're doing, you are coming back to destroy even the little piece of legacy that you left. You are now trashing it yourself. Leave your daughter to become active and support her. Stay away from politics. Push your new generation, your daughter. She's already a member of parliament. Why can't you take up that step and rally behind her? Put your face there, because your daughter sees your face. She is capable. She's a learned lawyer. She's a learned MP. She can do much better than you think. Don't underestimate her. Support the children for the future. Parents of Africa, especially Mama, President of Africa. You can't be a president for life forever or back into politics for life forever. Please give chance to the young generation. That's what we call rebranding, not if you're Mleland. Let me end here because there's no time. Otherwise, Lusambo, no, as a miss, let him just go to court to answer those charges. That money keeps on bragging about is nothing. We know how he was before and how he has become after. So we can tell, we can add 1 + 1. Where do you think the money came from? You don't even have a viable business. You don't have education. You don't have, and then you call yourself rich after just serving in office? Come on, guys. These are jokes. Just go to court, answer your questions. If you are found guilty, thank God. If you are found with no case to answer, thank God again. I don't know whether it's God or God. I rest my case.
I like, I like it when you say, come on, guys. This is Ubuntu channel. We go straight to the next story and see you on the other side.
It is the handover of a 2-story 1x6 classroom block and the first of its kind in Chirundu district. The state-of-the-art infrastructure, whose work started in March this year, was built using Constituency Development Fund at a cost of 1.9 million kwacha. Minister of Education, Douglas Yakalima, has handed over the building and 300 school desks.
The government, through the Directorate of National Science Center, has rehabilitated more than 8,000 frames that have been sitting since independence. And today, I have brought 300 desks to ensure that all the 6 classrooms have where learners should sit when schools open for the year 2024.
And authorities in the district say the development will help accommodate more learners.
The newly constructed 1x6 classroom block, as well as many other classrooms being constructed across the district, shall provide a conducive environment and reduce number of learners in these classrooms.
Education department, rather, they have got their own way of building. Maybe we can adopt what we have started here in Chirundu. I know there is a cost attached to each, but we need to move with time.
Meanwhile, pupils have commended government for the gesture.
This new building will help a great deal.
Right on. We have, the byproducts of CDF, and some people have complained and said, CDF is not yielding anything at all. So we get to see some pockets of development out of the same, CDF. Your reaction, Mr. Mkelewai?
Saying pockets of development, that's been disingenuous. It's not pockets. We have seen what CDF has done.
Mr. Mkelewai, are you there? Are you getting me?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Mhm.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You can go ahead and give us your opinion. Yes.
Okay, thank you. What I'm saying, when you talk about pockets of development that CDF has brought, that's been unfair to them. You know, we see that the CDF is a game changer, has brought a lot of change into our communities. You know, we need to understand that we are working on amounts of money that we have never experienced before. CDF hasn't been funded well for the past years from the previous governance system. But today, in this UPND, the 2 years they've been in office, we have seen what CDF has done so far. I'm just imagining to say this is the money that ended up Mumatumba Yabena Bowman Lusambo during Malungu. MPA Shalea Mumatumba Yama ministers, and they started looking as if they are the source, ever Yama fountain of sources of income. And going to the Zambian people, that's the narrative they went throughout with. Their people's money, because this money belongs to the people. It's our money from the government. And this ended up Mumatumba Yabena Lungu. No, but now what has this man, this millionaire man, I call him a millionaire because of his achievement, and I'm not going to to be apologetic for that. He worked hard for himself, and he's the man who does not flash around or show off, and many Zambians have a problem with that. He has a different lifestyle. And that's why today, during his conference, he's even encouraging new people to say, stop buying these vehicles to show off. Buy properties that will help you and the community. A tractor, for example. Now, what a tractor. You are a millionaire, now what a tractor. Imagine what that tractor can do in the neighborhood. What you can do, you can unblock these garbage systems that are blocking the drainage systems. You can cultivate, helping your neighbors with cultivating their land. So what this government has done is to bring a different way of having your wealth, protecting your wealth, or sharing, decentralizing of the wealth of the country. Today, all the constituencies, they have had a chance, an opportunity to receive at least colossal sum of money into their accounts. And that's why Bambi, they are still in a state of a shock. They don't know how to do it. How do we help? Where do we do? Because they are used. We are used. We still have that mentality of Boma Isayanganapo, waiting for people from Lusaka to come and bring all the development for us. We are waiting. We are receivers. But now this government has decided, I am bringing the money to you. Do something with this money. Yourselves, not Lusaka people. Yourselves. What are you doing about this money? What are you doing? What projects do you have? What problems do you have? But what do we see? The lazy people, they are complaining. The hardworking people like Sunday Chanda. Look at his constituency. I will keep on referring to him because he is one of the opposition leader, MP, that has gone beyond politics. He has crossed over politicking. He decided to look at the interest of his people. Why was he put in that office? Who voted for him? He does not go into parliament to start causing the mayhem or causing the speaker to terminate or suspend him just because that is not what the people voted him for. He was voted for to go and represent the people. And look at the CDF that he is doing, how he is utilizing the CDF. That's the man to think of. That's the man to follow. Those are people that you should rally behind and support, because we see results. And if you press them so much against the wall, they speak out. But he is not into that type of dirty games. He is working. He's a result-oriented politician, an MP, and Kanchivia today is a big example we can look at. Today we are happy. That's the Zambia we want. So looking at that CDF building construction, that school that have been constructed out of CDF, to me, that's an achievement. Why can't we simply say thank you? Otherwise, government or you, the people, don't think that this is just a favor. It's the government. The government is obligated to provide these services to us. Iyo issue ama favors don't even bring the issue of your favor, because it's not a favor. Bami kulile skulu is not a favor. It is the government's responsibility, and it is you and me responsibility to clean up our places and to build schools using the CDF, because that money is coming in our constituencies. That money is meant for us, not the Lusaka people. So if we fumble it on our own, not the government. So we should thank ourselves, thank the people who are in charge, who are making sure that development, that CDF money is put into good use. That is what we need to do as a country, rally behind such positive results. That's what we want. Education will kill all this starvation that you're claiming. People who are complaining the most are those chaps who are lazy, those who are bamshani nabwashi, those who are used to just sit on the couch waiting for favors, but then check it out. It won't work. Leave that couch, go out there, get a job, or do something. Do some business. If you're a carpenter, make some chairs, go sell. Make some desks, go sell. Make money. Stop coming up with excuses. Economy. Economy na ishupa now ikala pia mchipona. Taukwete na skill at economy. Leave that couch. Leave social media. Go and get a job. Do something. At least you've tried your best. But not to quickly expecting handouts. You will suffer if you want to wait for handouts. Even if today Lungu came back into power, I think this time around Lungu will be very stingy if he had to come back into power again. He will never give you not even a coin. For the past 10 years, he has never given you any money. Not even development. Today you are talking about drainage system. You're suffering from the same seasonal diseases. Cholera. Day in, year out. Same problem. Meanwhile, you are there with your money. And you want to blame the government. Who does that? Ulesi. Waulesi sakudia. Waulesi uzankala, uzasala, uzadandao. Banzako basebenza baenda ogula bakwanisa ogula unga wempa 300 or pa 500 bazagula banzako iwoza sala muri mwamone. Government boma yanganepo, you are not improving yourself. How do you think the government is going to help you? The government has brought enabling environment for you to do business without any cadre beating you, chasing you around. No favors. So what are you talking? What's your excuse? Allow this government to fix this economy issue. But you claim mule chula, mule lalensala, but when we look at Amatobo, we look at the way you are busy riding up Angry Lion at tule lalensala. Where? You don't even have a garden, Panganda garden, where you can grow veggies, tomato. You can't. At Insala. Kuifuaila. Insala kuifuaila. Leteni government iwombere pama pandalama baona olaba previous government aba babwe shendalama shiria so that my law iwena ine tukekale wino tukale enshemyo tokashie sunga twakwanisha munshire sha londoloka ama business yesu abutuke so that tukwate na ifama profit na ife tushite kwa ama tractors. That is how we should develop, work together as a team, not if you mulela ndefyo. Insala kwisa. Iya kuifuaile weta wako atapo nebala ati insala. Walili mapo. Huh? We don't want everyone to go and cultivate, but do something. Sitting down and doing nothing. Na mwemeba nakashi pia kushanina tuma politician muleke. Do some business. Women can even drive trucks, taxis. We have seen that in developed countries. They can become plumbers. Do something. Sitting, kuya kuchurch, you say church. You won't. Mukafuensala. So thank you for that development plan that they brought about CDF, through CDF. Keep on with the good work. Ethiopia Bunga will fix that problem as we go. This time, let's cultivate. Let's see what happens. Let's talk about Bunga next year. Let's hear if we are going to complain about Ubunga na food. We can solve that problem once and for all. If my dollar fika pona. So let us just have faith in our government and fix and help and hope that things are going to work out this properly. Now, our government don't grow heads. We want to see of your mulechta. Show us. Don't hide. Not till on no, we are working. We want to see our results so that we compare and contrast. I rest my case.
Thank you, Mr. Mkelewa. We do appreciate, and mine is that I like your conclusion, because no matter how far you go, you still come back home and give that positive advice, and you do call a spade. No matter how far you could have gone away from it, but you still come back home. It's a great thing. I think it's definitely commendable. All right. Those of you that have been following through Facebook, YouTube, and so on and so forth, we greatly appreciate it. And we wish you a Merry Christmas as Ubuntu channel. Not forgetting those of you that, left us some messages right in the comment section. Namwinga Precious Simwanza, we greatly appreciate. And of course, Emmanuel Nkunika. From Mr. Mkelewai and myself, we are saying thank you so much. We are profoundly humbled to have you joining us on the program like always. Till then, God bless you all and enjoy the festive season.
Karumba,